Well, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, and welcome to the Bridge Broadcast Show. This is your host, Tina Boyle Whyte, and I am always glad that you're here with me, joining me on this day. I'm really excited about this day because we're continuing our session on your thinking, and we're using the book from John C. Maxwell, No Limits. We're using this as a thought. We are continuing on that journey. I'm your host again, Tina Boyle Whyte, and what we've been doing in this season too, as we almost are drawing to the near ending of the season. Season one, we talked really about spiritual transformation. Season two has really been about, we started the year with faith, and we really focused on, the soul. And season three, summer, I'll just be giving you some information. So just be looking out for me over the summer for what we have coming up. Season three will really incorporate a lot of learning around the body, which the Lord has really been downloading and really giving me some insight and wisdom. And I'm so excited to really go through the spirit, soul, and body with you on the Bridge Broadcast Show. Well, if you're just joining me today, or if you're just jumping into this video, what we're all about, we are the bridge, we are the gateway. We believe that we're the gateway to get you from where you are to where you want and need to be in life. And so we do that through three frames or three lenses. The first frame or lens is the spirit. We really believe that there's a spiritual component to who you are as a person, your soul, your mind, will, and emotions, and then your body. And so we really look to help you in all those areas for you to grow and develop as a person and really launch yourself into your potential. And so this is what we've been doing. We've been talking through this whole season 1 and 2. We give you experiences with people who've had some form of transformation. We've done some studies. We really talk about really developing who you are as a person. So today is no different than any other day that we've been doing. Last week I really enjoyed this one. We talked about the thinking. We've been looking at this book, blowing the cap off your capacity. And it's like, have you reached a point in life where you have felt like that, someone told me, I'll put it like this, I sense that this is the farthest this is all that I'll do. This is the end. This is it. This is all it's going to be. And I had to encourage the person, say, no, God is not done yet. My God just does not do that. So, where you are right now, depending, disregarding your past or whatever you've experienced in your past, it doesn't matter. The best is yet to come. And I really want to encourage you to know that what's ahead is really best. That is your yet to come, and that great things are just still ahead. And so I'm really excited. So last week we talked about the thinking capacity. We talked about your different realms of thought as it relates to your thinking. And just to recap, and I just want thinking capacity, it's your ability to think effectively. And the whole thing has been, how do I increase my capacity? This is what this whole part of this season, has been about. Just being aware, plus having ability, plus making some choices, really increase your capacity. And I would encourage you to go back and look at some of the other videos. And I'm thankful and grateful to John C. Maxwell. He has a great leadership program, and he's got some great resources that he's written over the years, and he is one of my mentors. And so I would encourage you to really just, explore some of his work. And he is the guru. He's the leadership leader in the world. And so he is a leader of mine. And so I would encourage you to check that out. Well, last week we talked about these things as it relates to thinking, and it's just help you. He talked about, his beliefs around what he thought. And he was just saying that he used some quotes. He made these points that everything begins with a thought. Life consists of what man is thinking about all day. That's Ralph Waldo Emerson. And if you want to hear more explanation or what I said about it, just go to my last video and see what it is. What we think determines who we are. Who we are determines what we do. He said, I've always thought the actions of men, the best interpreters of their thought. So actions represent your thought. That's John Locke. And our thoughts determine our destiny. Our destiny determine our legacy. You are today where your thoughts have brought you. You will be tomorrow where your thoughts take you. So I'm just recapping this so you can really see this. That was James Allen. People who go to the top think differently than others. Nothing limits achievement like small thinking. Nothing expands possibilities like unleashed imagination. That's William Arthur Ward. Where's your thinking? We can change the way we think. Whatever things are true, noble, just, pure, lovely, they are of good report. If there's any virtue, if there's any praise, praiseworthy, think on these things. And that was from the Apostle, Paul the Apostle. And so, like I said, if you want to know more of what I said about that, just go to my last video. But I really want to delve into this week because I just really want to walk you into some wisdom with thinking. And John says, he says, he discovered a long time ago if he wanted to increase his overall success capacity, then he needed to increase his thinking capacity. And so where are you? Do you need to increase your thinking capacity? Do you even know how you think? Have you even assessed? Have you even valued where you think? He says, here's the process that I use to expand ideas and improve my thinking on a daily basis. And I'm going to walk you through these things today. He said, if you can learn this process, it will make your thinking more thorough. And as your thinking improves, the number of good ideas you have will increase. And God has always given us ideas. He's dropping ideas. You wonder why. You look and see, how did that person discover this? And how did that person, you know what? He's looking to download some thoughts into you, but are you open? Is your capacity there to receive what God wants to download into you? And so he said, here's the system. Number one, think the thought. Value your thinking. Do you value your thinking? See, here's the thing. Most people don't even recognize the value of good thinking. You have a thought, but they let them go and don't do anything with them. How many of you have gotten a thought and you didn't do anything with it? You just it was a fading thought. You had a dream, you had a vision, you had this amazing thought. Little did you know, had you acted upon it, it could have been your $1 million thought. It could have been something that could have made your life shift from where you are to where you really want and need to be. So, what are you valuing about your thinking? Or have you littled it? Look at some people who have successfully made it, read their stories and see how they've come to the place that they are. You look at Mark Zuckerberg, in the college dorm room, he created the biggest platform that everybody in the world uses, and he's making billions of dollars. You know what? It's not even about the money, but the money came from the thought that he had from this initial thought around, we just want people to connect. Little did you know, or little did we know, connecting people on a platform using technology has transformed the world. So what do you have that is transformative and it's possible to transform the world? That's the starting point of you increasing your thinking capacity. Don't think small on your thinking. Don't sit down on your thinking. Don't go to sleep on your thinking. Where can you find an idea? To increase your to increase your thinking, you got to have the mindset. So, we talk about the soul, mind, will, and emotion. What is your mindset? Two people can think the same thing, but have different experiences. I'm sure there was somebody in that computer course that might have thought something, but kind of blew it off. But look, where is he today? The thinking, Steve Jobs, look at the people. You read the story about who started off with Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs decided to move ahead with the idea. He went ahead with his thought. Michael, you think about, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Bill Gates, what was he thinking? Where was he at? And, what was that piece with him? So to increase your thinking capacity, you need to become an idea digger. I had to say that, so it was a double word. Where are you digging for ideas? That's how I think of myself. He says, I'm always looking for ideas and trying to mine them. It's a great day when I've added value to someone and when I can when I've found a good idea. So how are you doing that? What are you finding? How can you use it? He says, a lot of people come across an idea and recognize that it is a good idea, but yet they don't do anything with it. So here's the accountability. What are you doing with this idea? What are you doing with your thinking? We all have been given the thinking. And for some of you who believe that there's not a God or, the universe or what have you, God is sovereign and he gives us ideas. He gives us things. He downloads things in us. And he wants you to really, capitalize on what he's downloaded in you. And so You know, when you don't follow through, it's like you have muscles that you don't use, and so if you don't use your ideas, you're going to lose them. So do you want to find yourself in a place where you lose your ideas? We don't want that. So how can I maximize the idea? And I'm walking you through this just to give you some things. And, you know, I would love for you to engage with me to, you know, tell me about your ideas and tell me what you're thinking, or just even just walk with me. Just, I invite you to. Thank you for watching the video, but you know, hey, send me a message, Tina. You know, that was really good. You know, thanks to you and John, you know, this is what I'm doing. And anytime you have an idea that can add value to the others, you should take note of it and plan to give it more thought. So it's like, how do you maximize? You know, where can I maximize this idea? If it will help organizations, apply it there. If it pays attention, you know, if the idea meets you where you are in your life journey, you will become a better one and will give you strength. And so you think about that. What can I do with this idea? Okay. So number two, those are subsets of number one, which was, what was number one? Number one was think the thought, value your thinking. So we want you to really value your thinking. So number two, write out your thoughts, clarify your thinking. Learning to write is learning to think. And that's pretty much to the point. He said some other things, but you know, write your thought out. Have you ever found yourself in a place where you have thoughts and you need to write them out? You have a journal. This is my journal. You know, I have my thoughts, you know, thoughts come in my journal, you know, things that I think of, and I date it and I put it in. You know, what are you doing with your journal? What are you writing down? Where are you putting your thoughts? So writing a thought, you know, is just really critical. Find a place to keep your thoughts. Where do you capture your thinking? And I go back to my journal again. After I write them down, I have journals. You know, my pastor shared with the church that she has journals. She had like 2 journals, suitcases. And so likewise, I have suitcases of journals. And, you know, it's just like, where do you capture them? I capture mine in a journal. And he said, as we look at this, capture your thinking, what is the biggest waste of time? You know, the biggest waste of time is when people can't find their thoughts. They can't, you know, they don't have an organized place to put them. And he said, find a place to organize your thoughts. Now, I don't know if there's anybody out there like me. If you're thinking about, you know, if you're in that place where you're thinking about writing a book, because I'm writing a book, I do have a book coming out, and I will keep you posted. Be watching out for what I put out and advertise. I want you to really join me. Really join me on this journey, get the book, and I'll release it very soon. But I'm looking for you to join me there. You know, I hurt my shoulder. I hurt my shoulder swimming, and just doctor told me I had bursitis, and I had a different move today, and it's just hurting. So I'm grabbing my shoulder. So pray for me as I pray for you. Okay. Rethink your thought. Number 4, evaluate your thinking. He said, I used to keep a special pad next to my bed, and that I had a light and a pen to incorporate it. And he said, basically, in order to evaluate your thinking, you know, you want to do this. He says, does this thought speak to me? Will this thought speak to others? How, where, and when can I use this thought? And who can I help by delivering or implementing this thought? So when you start evaluating like this thought, you know, we have a thought, it comes. Is it fleeting? Or do you think about, okay, what can I do with this? So that's the piece. It's like, I need to evaluate this thought. Verbalize. Number 5, verbalize your thought. Express your thinking. You know, a lot of people don't take time for each other. They don't have time to be heard, time to be listened. And this is the thing. If you have a friend or have somebody that's like-minded like you, or in a space where you can come together with each other, find a group that is good for you, that allows you to really express your thinking and to express your thoughts. You know, I always encourage students, as a teacher, I always say, think about it, pair up, and share it. You know, this, when you think about your thoughts, that's a process that they use in education. It's called metacognition. Thinking is cognition. You know, metacognition is thinking about your thinking. And so when I have a thought, and it's like, okay, let me think about it. We don't spend enough time thinking about our thinking. So do that. Take some time to think about your thinking, and do that by expressing the verbalize your thought. He says talking expresses your heart. When you write an idea, it gives your thinking intellectual weight. And so you really want to do that. You want to give yourself the opportunity to write and to expand your idea. That's what happens when you talk about it. It's like, oh, I didn't think about it. When you hear what you were thinking, it just really shifts everything. You know, put your thoughts on the table, share your thinking, put it out there. You know, a lot of people say, you know what, I don't like to write, but writing is just essentially what you're thinking. And so put it out there, put it on the table and see what it brings. John says, I want to encourage you to share your thinking with others to take it to another level. Now, to be able to do that, he says there's 5 things that you can do. Bring a good thought to the table. It doesn't have to be a great thought, but it needs to be a good one. Share your desire for others to improve on your thought. You need to want to better thoughts more than you want the credit. Ask everyone to participate. People should know that they're either at the table or on the menu, okay? Ask questions. Nothing stimulates improved thinking more than questions. And then let the best idea win. So don't be afraid to put it out there. Find you a group that will allow you to go through that process. Number 7, practice the thought. Take your thinking for a walk. Now, this is really interesting. He said once an idea has been on the table and improved by a key group of people, it's time to take the idea out and let more people see it. And so here's an example. What is it that you want to do? What is it that you've been thinking about? You know, is there something that has been on your heart? You know, I'm thinking about those who are writers. If you have an idea, if you have a book, if you have a product, if you have a business, if you have something that you want to share with others, I encourage you to take it and let it be one that you're not afraid to let others kind of be in that space. Now, make sure you are sure that you're with a trusted group that, you know, you can rely on this group to help you get to where you need. And so, or find a coach that can help you and walk you through your process. So don't be afraid to take your thinking on a walk, as he used that as a metaphor, like walking your dog. You know, he said, the one thing that he says, don't be afraid to fall forward. You know, fall forward. It's okay to fall forward and fail in a forward manner. It's okay. Question the thought, expand your thinking. You know, after practicing the thought, he says, number 8, it's time to ask, what did I learn from practicing it? And it's time to judge whether the idea is still viable. So once you take it for a walk and you evaluate, you evaluate and you take it for a walk, you know, what more can I think? What more can I do? You know, how else can I add it? And, you know, something that will start small, you know, something, my niece, she did a really good job. She had an idea and I encouraged her and she wrote 1 book and then she ended up writing 4 books. And then now she's got 6 books. She's got another project and now she's started a nonprofit, all because of an idea or something that she wanted to share with people about what it is that was happening in her journey. And you know what? That can be the very same thing to you. I had the opportunity for that same niece, Cherise Cannon, I'm gonna give her a plug. Cherise Cannon, you want to go look for her work. She's awesome. She's got, from that, she created she does podcasts. She's now starting classes. And so where are you on your journey? Where are you with your thinking? Where are you with that thought? And say the thought started over here. And by the time you got over here, that thought was something big. Where are you on that spectrum? Like, who can I help? And so, you know, she started off as a teen mom. She was pregnant at a young age. And, you know, people would count people out who start off as teen parents. You know, she, in her workshop, she had a group of people and, you know, there was a young lady who experienced brokenness, actually a couple of young ladies that experienced brokenness. And so they're writing about the brokenness that they experienced from a young age, being that of, you know, absent father, domestic violence, domestic abuse, you know, it's the same thing, but sexual abuse, you know, all those different things, you know, those things about your story that you were traumatized by, but that ideal can lead to having something where you're helping another person. So right here, the idea was like, you know what, let me just tell my story. But now she's got a nonprofit organization. Now she's writing books. Now she's helping others. So where are you on your journey? Where are you in this process? You know, that's what we do. We're the gateway to get you from where you are to where you want and need to be. And so don't sit on that space that you have, that idea that you have. Don't reject it. Your idea is valuable. You know, somebody wants to hear you. Whether you do a blog, or whether you do, you know, Facebook posts, whether you do something, just do something. We all have something, and you know, it's that ability that I talked about, the ability, the choices, the awareness that allows your capacity to be increased. And so, what do you do with that? Do you let that go? I encourage you not to. I challenge you not to let it go. And so, as we're working through here, our process. For getting this done, excuse me, I'm checking our time. I want you to embrace number 9, embrace the thought. Own your thinking. Do you own your thinking? Something happens powerful. He says something powerful happens when a person moves from believing in an idea to owning an idea. Oh my God. You know, belief is everything. Do you believe? See, that's a whole nother thought. Where's your belief level? Where's your belief? You know, it can even be a situation where, you know, you don't have people believing in you, but do you believe it? When you believe something, do you own it? Do you claim it? Do you keep it as yours? Do you have the persistence and the resilience to make it through and to withstand whatever comes your way? Do you have the ability to weather the storm through the whole process? And so I want to encourage you, you know, believe in your idea. You know, he says believing in your idea is like investing money. You know, when we invest money in the stock market, we believe that the stock market is going to go up unless it's just a total crash. You know, we believe that we will get a return on our investment. And so, you know, it is just the same. When it just hit me. Hello. When we invest in the stock market, we're saying that we believe in your product so much so that we're going to help you have money. I don't care if it's, you know, $5 or millions of dollars. You're believing in somebody else's idea and you're supporting their idea. What idea do you have that you need to believe in and you need to really see as, you know, somebody can believe in me? Sometimes we think it's like, nobody will ever believe in me, or nobody will ever, you know, support me. But you don't know if you don't put that idea out, if you don't follow the steps that we talked about. And so it's so amazing. He says, what happens is you give it a try and you hope it works. You know, when somebody said, well, I'll try it. No. Are you convinced? No, yes, I'm going to do it. I often ask my students, well, are you going to work on finishing work? I'll try it. Well, I'm not convinced. Either you're going to do it or not. So either you is or you isn't. I had to go back to some, you know, basic language to break it down. So you got to know that you believe in yourself even when nobody else believes in it. And here is the thing, just the perfect example. I don't know who's watching. You're listening to my video now, but it doesn't matter. I believe in my idea, and so I'm putting it out. And this video will land with somebody. I believe in myself, and so this is how you have to believe. And so if you've actually made it to this point in the video, that means that you believe in yourself. You believe in, you're committed into going where you're planning on going. Now, once you do that, he says, launch the thought, implement your thinking. So how do you implement your thinking? When you launch an idea, you need to be clear about what you want people to know and what you want people to do. He says, when I described the coaches, the things we would be doing in Paraguay, and that's one of the places that he really invests in. He said, I also included the launching of the idea in my description. The people knew that they were what they were supposed to do, and they did it. He says, launching is the greatest test of any idea. The implementation demonstrates an idea's real value or lack of value. When it works, it's powerful because everyone sees it. So he just said that's pretty much how it happens. Now, number 11, that was number 10. Land the thought. Make your thinking work. Once you launch your idea, the best results come in landing. You know, he made it synonymous to when a gymnast lands. You know, when the landing happens, when you see the double turn on the spin, she's running and she's dancing, and you do a double turn in gymnastic, it's landed. When you think about a basketball, you know, he's shooting, he's aiming for that 3-point, and it's arching, and you see it, and it's right at the last minute, it landed. It's just like an idea. When you release that ball in basketball and it lands, that is the landing of a thought. Let me give you one more. Football, you know, Hail Mary. You know, I've seen the Green Bay Packers do it all the time. That's where I'm from. I'm from Wisconsin, you know, Green Packers, and throw that football, and it's right at that last one. It's just at that point that Hail Mary goes all the way down the field, just like that ideal goes all the way out. When it lands, everybody is celebrating. And that's the whole key to landing an idea. Now, upgrade the thought. Mature your thinking. You say when a thought lands and make a positive difference, the temptation is to celebrate and move on. He said, I'm all for celebration. Wins can be hard to come by. And when we do experience a win, we should thank the people who helped to make it happen, and give them credit that they deserve. But if we do that without looking for a way to upgrade the thought, we've missed the greatest opportunity. Growth requires thoughts to be continually upgraded. I'm always trying to get better and better. The better I get, the more I have to give. My desire is that what I'm teaching today will be better tomorrow. And so when I think about this, where are you from the thought of inception? You know, I go back to, you know, the first couple of pages. You know, where are you in this process? As please review this last video. Everything begins with thought. I have to begin and end with this. You know, what we think determines who we are. Who we are determines what we do. Think about this. Where are you? Our thoughts determine our destiny. Our destiny determines our legacy. Everything starts with a thought. You know, people who get to the top thinks differently. And we can change the way we think. You know, it says, you know, I love it. I love that book. As a man thinking in his heart, and that's with the Bible. As a man think within his heart, so is he. As you think, that is who you are. As you think, that is who you are. And so, you know, as we talked about this today, how do you capture your thoughts? How do you capture your thinking? You know, who are the people you bring to the table to help you to improve? What are you doing to shift your thinking? What are some tools that you're using to really capture your thinking? Are you journaling? And then what are you doing with these? Are you seeking God? Are you praying and saying, God, what do I do with this thought? Now you've given me this thought. What do I do with it? Are you like my niece? Are you like her who get a thought and she runs with it and she makes a difference? She's starting to be a legacy changer. What legacy do you want to change? What do you want to do differently? What do you want to do to transform your life? What do you want to be? What do you want to see? Where are you? What is your assessment of you and your purpose here on earth? You know, purpose-driven life. My husband is reading the Rick Warren book. So many thousands of people read the Purpose-Driven Life. And and as I'm thinking about it, people are really thinking about what is their purpose. Well, you know what? I want to encourage you that, you know, as you read Rick Warren's book, if you have not, another book, Purpose-Driven Life. Purpose-Driven Life, you know, is a book that helps you to see that you have a purpose. And then once you realize you have a purpose, you know, think about your thinking. Think about what you're thinking. It's already in there. See, what's in you is already in you. It was in you before the foundations of the world. I just believe that. He said, let us make man in our image. He said, let us make man after our likeness. You know, you are set up for greatness. And I don't know if you know it or not today, that you are already set up for greatness. He's already put into you everything that you need. And so I would encourage you, what thinking are you thinking? Are you negative thinking? Do you have stinking thinking? I would encourage you to detox your thinking on today. You know, the Bible says, Paul the Apostle, whatsoever is honest, whatsoever is pure. Philippians 4. Think on these things. What are you thinking? Are you thinking on pure things? You know, this atmosphere, this world is set up so that we can be drawn to negative thinking. We got the news. On the news, you know, international news, local news, things are so negative. I don't know if in your area they do, they show all the negativity. Where's some good news? Begin to share the good news. Get on and do a YouTube. You know, people are always watching some things. You know, our society has become glorified with, you know, negative stuff. Clear your mind of that. Fighting, kids fighting and violence. And people think that's funny. That's not funny. What you put in you is what comes out of you. And so if you want to see something different, do something different. So I encourage you on today, you know, change your thinking. Change your thinking. Become a legacy maker by really allowing your thoughts to be manifested and materialized for the world. Because guess what? You might have the next cure for some major ailment. You may have the next transition into an innovation. What do you have? We're waiting for you. We're waiting for you. We're waiting for you. If not you, then who? If not now, then when? If not where? Yeah. If you don't take action, we won't have it. So today, I just wanted to encourage you to really, you know, maximize your thinking and do something different. Let us see what you have. Let us see what you're bringing to the world because, hey, we need it. God bless you on today. I just really, you know, thank you for your being with me. We got one more show this season. I'm really excited. Hang out with me one more week, and then watch my videos after I'm off for this season. Really just manifest and really get, you know, John C. Maxwell's books. Consider joining his team because you have something amazing that God is waiting for you to just activate and say, yes, God, I will do it. He's waiting for you. Are you ready to do it? Well, it's been another great week. I look forward to seeing you next week, and I look forward to spending more time. I don't know how we're going to end this, but we'll figure this out. We'll see you next week, and have a great week, and God bless. Thank you. Bye.